Welcome to the last quiz of the first edition of the ProQuizzing League. The main league is over, and today we have the best of the Titans battling it out in the grand finale general quiz. Before we start today's quiz, let's look back at how the league ended. Champions of the ProQuizzing League Clash of the Titans Edition 1 is Team Chennai Erudites. They have been consistent as a team and now get the crown of the best quizzing city in India. Not very far were the Delhi Brainiacs, who flourished when it mattered. Finishing third were the Bengaluru Aces, who were playing a solid game till the last quiz in the league. Kolkata Wizards, who were reeling at the bottom for most of the league, fought back to fourth, while Mumbai Geeks ended on fifth, followed by the Global Geniuses, which had players from different countries. The quiz today has the best of the 6 players from the 36 who participated in the league. Let's see who they are. For Kolkata Wizards, we have Jayashree Jayakar Mohanka. She played the Travel and Places quiz in the league. For Chennai Erudites, their captain Jayakanthan, who played the Brands and Biz quiz, will face the challenge today. For Mumbai Geeks, it will be Rajiv Rai, who played the Nature and Wildlife quiz. Representing Delhi Brainiacs will be Amrit Pritam Chetia, who played in the Films and Music quiz. For Bengaluru Aces, it will be their captain Anushtup Dotto, who had a fabulous Films and Music quiz. And all the way from Chicago, we have Siddhant Agarwal again, who played the History and Heritage quiz in the league, coming back to fight it out today. Let's start with the first round. The rounds remain the same. The format remains the same. It's just that there is no topic this time. Round 1 is off the blocks. There will be 6 questions in this round, all on multiple choice. You get plus 20 for correct answer. There are no negatives. Each team gets 1 direct question, and of course there is no bonus. First question goes to the erudites. Here it comes. An enormous dragon-like serpent was slain by the legendary hero Apollo and left to rot in the heat of the sun. The site of its death eventually became the site of the Oracle of Delphi. Identify the dragon, whose name derives from a Greek word literally meaning to rot. Your options are?
I'll go with Python.
You're going with Python. Let's look at the answer. And Python it is. You get a plus 20 off the block in the first round. Direct for the Wizards. Much before browsers were in vogue, who famously recommended, go to page 69 of any book and read it. If you like that page, buy the book. Today it is called this is the name of the person, test. Who is the person? So your options are?
I have no idea, so I will guess McLuhan.
You guess McLuhan. Let's see if it's correct. It is correct. You get a plus 20. So you took a guess. It worked. That's McLuhan. Next question goes to the geeks. According to the locals, it is considered to be the 8th wonder of the world. According to some, this place is said to be the Alakamandava that was built by Kuber. Which place is this? Your options are?
I will go with the Lion Rock Dambula.
Going with the Lion Rock Dambula, and Lion Rock Dambula it is. You get a plus 20. Everyone going off the block in this round till now. Next question goes to the Delhi Brainiacs. The first hotel of the Taj Group outside India was opened in which city?
I'll guess London.
Going for London? No, it's not London. It's Sana.
That's
So
a
that's
tough
the
one.
first city outside of India. Next question, direct to the aces. This animal-loving US president and his wife had turned the White House into a minuscule zoo. In fact, wild pets, often brought as presents for the First Lady, had to be given to a local zoo. Who is this POTUS who had 2 pet lions named Tax Reduction and Budget Bureau? Your options are
I don't know, but I'll guess Calvin Coolidge.
guessing Calvin Coolidge. Let's see if you also get the guess correct, and you do get it correct. It's plus 20 to the aces. Last question of the round, direct to the geniuses. The IGIB, that's Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology, operating under CSIR, has developed a COVID-19 test to produce results in 1 hour. What have they named it? I need the name of the test. Your options are here.
I think they've named it Feluda.
I didn't get your answer. Can you be a little louder?
I said Feluda.
You said Feluda. And Feluda it is, a plus 20 to the global team here, the geniuses. Let's check the score at the end of this round. Almost all teams have 20 other than the brainiacs. So Kolkata, Chennai, Mumbai, Bengaluru and the geniuses are all on 20. The brainiacs are yet to open their account. We go to the second round of the quiz. It is called Chance Double. There are 12 questions, 6 clockwise, other 6 goes anti-clockwise. You get 10 for a direct or a bonus. You can go for a double as many by saying I go for a double. On a double, you get a plus 20 for correct or a minus 10 for incorrect. And you get 20 seconds to answer per question on direct. First question of this round goes to the erudites. In the context of the current COVID-19 emergency, research analyst group IDC is advising IT organizations to adapt their verticalization strategies to become more sharp, adaptive and agile. They have named this strategy after these ancient animals who have been able to survive across eras thanks to their resiliency and ability to adapt to adverse environments. Which animals are these?
Okay, I'll say cockroach.
You're saying cockroach, not the right answer. Pass on to the wizards.
I'll say beetles.
Beetle. Interesting try, not beetle. Passing on to the geeks.
I'll say hedgehog.
Hedgehog, not the hedgehogs. Pass on to the brainiacs.
We'll say lizards.
Not lizards. Pass on to the aces.
I'll say crocodiles.
Crocodiles. Crocodiles gives you a plus 10. You could have doubled, but that's
Yeah, I
crocodiles.
was not sure. Far from being sure.
It's the crocodile strategy. Okay, direct for the wizards. A particular important species that outlived the dinosaurs is only seen in its fossilized form. Its survival is one of the few positive stories to emerge from the unprecedented wildlife crisis in Australia. The exact location of the stand remains a closely guarded secret to help authorities protect the trees, Name the tree classified as critically endangered on the IUCN's Red List and is legally protected in Australia.
I would say ginkgo biloba.
No, not ginkgo biloba. Passing on to the geeks.
I'll say it is a kind of a eucalypt only, so some variant of the eucalyptus
Not
tree.
the eucalyptus tree. Passing on to the brainiacs.
I'll say this is a tree called the pine, the Woolami pine.
And it gives you a 10 point. The Woolami pine it is.
Yeah.
Is the Woolami pine. So 10 points for the
Shit, knew
brainiacs.
this. Had read this.
Very
Yeah.
good crack. Very good crack. Direct for the geeks. This museum in India, once in a derelict condition, underwent a comprehensive 5-year restoration and won UNESCO's 2005 Award of Excellence in the field of cultural conservation. The museum reopened in 2008 with an extensive exhibition program and is committed to promoting contemporary art and culture. Which museum, established in 1872 with a new name then, is this that I am talking about?
I will go with the Indian Museum in Calcutta.
We're going with the Indian Museum in Calcutta, not the Indian Museum in Calcutta. Pass on to the brainiacs.
We'll go with the Prince of Wales Museum.
Not the Prince of Wales Museum. Passing on to the aces.
Hey, do you want the old name or the new name?
Anyone will do.
Okay, I'll double on this.
Okay, go for it.
I think this is the Victoria and Albert Museum in Bombay.
You get a plus 20. Super answer. This is the Victoria and Albert Museum in Bombay. So plus 20 for the aces. Direct for the brainiacs. This is a gesture commonly found in portraiture during the 18th and the 19th centuries. It appeared in the 1750s to indicate leadership in a calm and firm manner. The pose traces back to classical times. Identify the pose made most famous by the artist Jacques-Louis David.
What do you want here? Like, you want me
See the pose.
to,
What pose is this?
can I describe it or?
Yeah, describe it.
So this is basically the Socratic pose with one hand up and the A down, like pointing towards the right or the left, like in David's portrait of Socrates' death.
Okay, so one hand pointing somewhere on the right, on the left. No, not the right answer. Pass on to the aces.
Yeah, I'll double on this.
Okay.
This is David's painting of Napoleon crossing the Alps, that is sitting on horseback facing the viewer.
Not the right answer. A minus
Oh,
10 on
shit.
this. Not the right answer. Passing on to the geniuses.
Yeah, I would say this is so like a leader pointing out forward.
Okay, so one of the arms pointing out forward.
Yeah, with his like index finger out.
Okay, okay. No, not the right answer. Passing on to the erudites.
Okay, I'll guess this is the posture where you have one hand in near your jacket pocket or something like that. So that this is the pose in which Napoleon usually used to pose, where you have one hand inside your jacket, something like that, and you present some kind of a pose like that.
Get a plus 10 on this. Beautiful answer. This is the hand in waistcoat pose.
The other one, yeah.
Yeah, the other one. The other one.
JK should have doubled.
I have no idea.
Plus 10 for the erudites. Direct for the aces. A small design team from Nokia, Finland, led by an NID design graduate, traveled extensively across Indian villages for 3 weeks, asking for suggestions on how Nokia 3315 could be made better. They added those as new features in the Nokia 1100, which included cleanable button surface, better grip, a red on-off button, and what else?
Don't really know.
Okay, you're giving an
Okay,
answer.
I will guess. A dual SIM.
A dual SIM, not the right answer. Pass on to the geniuses.
I would say that this was the snake game.
The snake game, very interesting. No, not the right answer. It was there before. Pass on to the erudites.
I'll guess torchlight.
Torchlight gives you a plus 10.
Yeah, right.
It was a torchlight.
अरे JK you blocked 2 in a row. Yeah.
It was a torchlight. So plus 10 to the erudites. Direct for the geniuses. The Narayanastra was the personal weapon of Lord Vishnu in his Narayana form. It fires a powerful tirade of millions of deadly missiles simultaneously. The only defense was to show total submission, which caused it to stop and spare the target. Other than Krishna and Drona, who possessed this astra in Mahabharata and in fact had used it also?
I think this was Ashwathama.
You think this was Ashwathama? It was Ashwathama. Very, very good answer. It was Ashwathama. He had used it in rage after Drona was killed. And this is the only thing that Drona didn't teach Arjuna. The only astra he didn't teach Arjuna, the Narayanastra. Very good answer, geniuses. Plus 10. We go anti-clockwise from here. Direct for the global geniuses. Question number 7. Here it comes. This is the second line of the book. It reads, however little known the feelings or views of such a man may be on his first entering a neighborhood, this truth is so well fixed in the minds of the surrounding families that he is considered the rightful property of some one or other of their daughters. Name this famous novel whose first line is an all-time classic.
I'd like to double on this.
Yeah.
Yes, go for it.
And I'd say this is Pride and Prejudice.
Take 20. It is Pride and Prejudice. It is Pride and Prejudice, the second line of Pride and Prejudice. 20 for the geniuses, direct to the aces. During World War II, it was discovered that this structure was being used by the Germans as an observation post. When an army sergeant from the Allied troops was sent to investigate it, he was so impressed by its beauty that he refrained from ordering an artillery strike, thus sparing it from destruction. What is being spoken of, situated in the country with the highest number of UNESCO World Heritage Sites? Yes, aces, you have an answer?
I have a guess. I will say this is the Parthenon in Greece.
Not the Parthenon in Greece. Pass on to the brainiacs.
I would like to double on this.
Yes, go for it.
This is the Tower of Pisa. The Leaning
This
Tower
is
of
the
Pisa.
Leaning Tower of Pisa, and of course
Oh,
it's in
yeah,
Italy. That's
Yeah.
the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So plus 20 for the brainiacs. Direct for the brainiacs. Guy de la Fontaine, a French physician to the king of Navarre, investigated something at a particular place in 1564. When he looked into the stock held by the chief dealer there, he found that the recent ones from executed criminals or slaves were being passed off as authentic. What was the trade all about? So what was being traded? That's the question.
You just want the object that was being traded, is it?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Any answer, brainiacs?
I'll say these are skulls, basically.
Skulls, not skulls. I pass on to the geeks.
So I'll say this is the passing of some hair from these slaves and criminals as belonging to Jesus Christ and his apostles in Spain.
No, not the right answer. No, nothing to do with hairs. Pass on to the wizards.
It's the bones which they said were relics of saints and so forth.
No, not the bones as relics. Pass on to the erudites.
I'll guess it's a Shroud of Turin.
No, not the right answer. Pass on to the geniuses.
I would say this would be like decapitated heads in like Aztec temples.
No, not the right answer. Pass on to the aces.
Not sure. I guess this was mummy powder. Ground portions of Egyptian mummies. These were actually slave mummies of criminals.
I'll give you 10 points. I'll give you 10 points. These were actually mummies, and they were faked, of course. So these were actually mummies. That gives you 10 points. The aces.
Should have doubled.
Direct for the geeks. This is. Here's your question. In Mosselbay, South Africa, on the grounds of the Bartholomeu Museum complex, you can see an old Millwood tree. What has been its unique function in the last 5+ centuries?
Does the function still exist?
Not with the tree, but around the tree it does exist.
So I will double this.
Okay, go for it.
And I'll say this is, near the Cape of Good Hope. So the ships passing from one side to other, they used to carry messages so that when the other ship passes, they could then collect that message and then take it onwards. So it was like a post box in a way.
Take 20 for that brilliant answer. Super answer.
Nice one, Rajiv.
It was the post office or box as you call them. Currently they have put up a box in front of the tree.
Yeah.
But then super answer. Super answer. Geeks get a +20 on this.
Very nice.
Direct for the wizards. Which physician extraordinaire who did not believe in leeches prescribed ventilating air and cleansing water to ward off the Black Death? Needless to say, his prediction somehow matched for the time.
Galen.
No. Pass on to the erudites.
Okay, I'll try a double on this. I'll say Nostradamus.
Take 20. That's Nostradamus.
Very nice.
That's Nostradamus. 20 for the erudites. Direct for the erudites. On March 18th, 1910, he made 3 flights at Diggers Rest, Victoria, near Melbourne. It was reported at the time that this was the first aerial flight in Australia, and a century later, some major news outlets still credit him with this feat. The Australian government clarified later, although he could not escape a few mentions. Who am I talking of?
It's a person you're.
Yes, it's a person I'm talking of.
Okay. Okay. I'll say Lindbergh.
No, not the right answer. Pass on to the geniuses.
I'd say this was Wilbur, right?
No, pass on to the aces.
Yeah, I'd like to double on this.
Yeah, go for it.
This is Harry Houdini, the magician.
Take 20 on this. This is Harry Houdini, the magician. That's what he did. And plus 20 to the aces. Let's check the score at the end of this round. Kolkata Wizards on 20. Chennai Erudites on 60. Mumbai Geeks on 40. Delhi Brainiacs on 30. Bengaluru Aces on 70. And Global Geniuses on 50. Okay, with this we go to the last round of the quiz. It's called the Final Frontier. 12 questions, 6 questions clockwise, the other 6 anti-clockwise. You get 10 for a direct here and 20 for a bonus. Again, 20 seconds per question on a direct. You get time. First of the clockwise questions go to the erudites. Here it comes. A common trend among women in the US was that they wanted their future husbands to spend money on a washing machine or a new car or anything but this premarital object, spending on which was considered money down the drain. This led Francis Geretti, a copywriter at the Philadelphia agency N.W. Ayer & Sons, to come up with which perpetual tagline, changing this perception in the years to come.
Yeah, giving this to JK is like.
There's no doubling here, right?
No, JK, no doubling.
Okay, these are engagement rings and diamond is forever, the tagline.
Diamonds are forever, engagement rings. So plus 10 to Chennai. This round is about holding on to your questions. Okay.
Oh, well.
Direct to the Wizards. These green colored vipers have been recently discovered in Arunachal Pradesh, I think a couple of weeks ago. They have been named after the co-founder of a well-known school. What is the name of the viper?
Salazar Slytherin.
Take plus 10 on this.
Very nice.
This is Salazar Slytherin from Harry Potter. Direct for the geeks. October 5th, 1962 is arguably the most important date in the history of British popular culture. It marks the birth of 2 extraordinary phenomena. One was the premiere of Dr. No, the first James Bond film. What was the other?
I will go with Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, not the right answer. Pass on to the Brainiacs.
I'll guess this is when the Beatles released their first single, Love Me Do.
Plus 20. Very good. Good answer. This is the release of Love Me Do, the first Beatles single. So plus 20 for the Brainiacs. Direct for the Brainiacs now. Known as honeycomb toffee, sponge toffee, cinder toffee, or hokey pokey, how do we better know this?
Uh, uh, Dalgona coffee, dude.
Dalgona coffee plus 10.
Okay.
Get a plus 10 on Dalgona coffee.
Okay.
Brainiacs doing well in this round. Direct for the aces. Componophobia is the fear of buttons. Steve Jobs had it, or at least a strong aversion to it, which explained his affinity for touch screens, and it was very much evident in his daily routine. Because of this fear, what other specific habit did Jobs have?
That black turtleneck T-shirt.
Take a 10 on this. This is the black turtleneck T-shirts that he used to wear. So 10 for the aces, direct for the geniuses. I do not think people are understanding any joke, barb, comment on my lifestyle that will make me block you. Now up to you. Whose Twitter bio is this? Time up. Geniuses, you're trying?
I would say this is Rishi Kapoor.
You say it's Rishi Kapoor. It is Rishi Kapoor plus 10. Good answer. That is Rishi Kapoor. We go anti-clockwise from here. Direct to the geniuses. Maryland Correctional Institute for Women have banned Game of Thrones books. There's something in those books that are considered smuggled in prisons. What?
So I would say that the books have a lot of sex in them, so that's considered like erotica and therefore smuggled and contraband.
No, not the right answer. I pass on to the aces.
I think because the Game of Thrones books has maps, I think maps are considered smuggled.
Take a plus 20 on that. Brilliant answer. They contain maps and maps are considered smuggled. So of course they have been banned from the prison. Very good answer. Aces. Direct for the aces now. As per 2018, if this business entity were a country, they would be ranked 24th in the world by its GDP and would approximately have an economy size that of Belgium. At the same time, this company loses $3 billion every year only due to theft. Which company is this?
Just every 3 billion every year. No idea. I'll guess.
Yeah, any answer?
Amazon?
Not the right answer. I pass on to the brainiacs. Any answer, brainiacs, or I pass on?
I'll say this is Walmart.
Take a 20 on Walmart.
Oh shit!
It was right
You
on
started.
it was right
I
there.
started saying Walmart. Yeah.
Left in the stores, yeah, finger.
Yeah, I know. I thought of saying Walmart, and
You almost said
It
it.
went up to the wall and just missed
yeah,
on
I
the
know.
mark.
I must keep hit the wall.
Brainiacs picks up the remaining part of the points. So 20 for Brainiacs on this. The answer is, of course, Walmart. Direct for the Brainiacs. China proposes a satellite with a laser. The US plans shooting gas. Japan proposes using an electric tether, a cable moving through the Earth's magnetic field to generate an electric current. What are they trying to do?
Is that for Mumbai?
I'll say.
No, it's
I'll
for
say-
Delhi brain.
Yeah, I'll say. I'll say they're trying to rid basically space of debris, space junk or space debris basically.
Plus
That's how
10
they
for that. Super answer. They're planning to clean up the space debris. That's the answer. Very, very good answer from the Brainiacs. Plus 10 on that. Direct for the geeks. This temple in Ujjain is dedicated to Kal Bhairav, the guardian deity of the city. Located on the banks of the Shipra river, it is visited by hundreds of devotees daily. What unique offering is made to the deity here?
So I'll say that essentially these are intoxicants, alcohol and maybe ganja also. So whatever that Lord Shiv smokes. Na? So.
Okay, take plus 10 for that. Liquor, alcohol, or you have added few more that you might know, but you still didn't have that knowledge.
No ganja, but alcohol is definitely offered. I've been to this temple.
First answer, yeah.
Okay, plus 10 for the geeks, direct for the wizards. But before that, let's check the scores. We are into the last two questions of the quiz. Okay, so where are we? Leading the quiz, Bangalore Aces on 100. Following them very, very closely are the Delhi Brainiacs on 90. Then we have the erudites on 70, the geniuses on 60, the geeks on 50, and Kolkata on 30. Two more questions coming up, the last two questions of the quiz, direct for the wizards. While in India, Clarence played one test match for UP in the 1948-49 Ranji Trophy as a manager with British India Corporation. When his son was born in 1948, it was said that Clarence placed a bat and ball in his cot. What was Clarence's surname?
Hey, you don't mean test match for UP, right? You mean Ranji match for UP?
Ranji match for UP, yeah.
Yeah, Ranji match, right?
Yeah.
I would say Cowdrey.
Not Cowdrey, passing on to the erudites.
Okay.
Any answer? I pass on.
Hold on. I'll say pace.
Once again, we couldn't hear you.
Pace.
Pace, not the right answer. Pass on to the geniuses.
I would say this is Lily.
Not Lily. Aces.
Don't know really. I would say this is Clary Grimmett.
Pass on to the Brainiacs.
This is Clarence Woolmer, so Bob Woolmer's father.
Take plus 20 on that. Take plus 20 on that. The important plus 20 for the Brainiacs.
Nice
That is
one.
Woolmer. His son was Bob Woolmer, born in Kanpur, of course. Last question, direct for the erudites. Here it comes. I was even selected for the CK Nayudu tournament, but then I needed money to travel from Jaipur to Ajmer, and I didn't know who to ask. That is the day I decided I cannot pursue it. Whose words are these? He was also reported. Yeah?
Irfan Khan.
Irfan Khan it is. You get a plus 10. That was the last question of the quiz. Let's look at the final scores. Here are the final scores. The Bob Woolmer answer takes Delhi Brainiacs to the top of the table, 110. Bengaluru Aces on 100. Followed by the Chennai Erudites on 80. The Global Geniuses on 60. Mumbai Geeks on 50. And Kolkata on 30. Thank you so much for playing such a wonderful game. Thank you so much for watching this edition of the ProQuizzing League Clash of the Titans. Subscribe right now and keep on getting notifications.